All over the aircraft you're going to see where they've cut holes in the aircraft and they've put in a flare around the edge of the hole. And by cutting the hole, they reduce weight. And so it's a great way of bringing an aircraft down to a reasonable weight for better fuel economy and stuff. And by putting that flare in around the edge of that hole, it actually makes that piece of material as rigid as it was before, and in fact brings in a certain degree of strength. And so we're going to put in a lightning hole, not a lightning hole from lightning strike, but a hole to make something lighter. So it's called a lightening hole. We're going to put one of those into a piece of material, our P3 project, which is our next project. So how do we do that? Well, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get our piece of metal, and we're going to figure out exactly where we want that hole to go. So in this piece, I've just decided to put it in the middle. So that's where my hole is going to go. And from there, what I've got to do is I've got to open this hole up big enough to use this tool, this tool here, which is called a chassis punch. You can see it's got a cutting tool on the base, male part, and then it's got a female outer casing that's going to allow it to pull that cutting tool inside and cut a nice finished hole. But in order to do that, what I need to do is I need to have a hole which is big enough to fit the center threaded screw or bolt, and so I need that hole to be that size. How am I going to do that? It's a pretty big bolt. Well, what I'm going to use is this thing called a unibit. This is an awesome tool. I love the unibit because it's a very quick way of taking a small hole and turning it into a reasonably big hole in a fairly quick amount of time. So what I'm going to do is use the unibit. Okay, so always be careful that this doesn't end up spinning. If it's a big heavy piece of metal and you're doing some big drilling, C-clamp it or lock it in position. This is just enough that I can hold on to it. The hole's not big enough yet, so I'm going to go one more setting. Okay, like that. Oh, perfect fit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cutting tool, I'm going to spin it on. Okay, get it up snug. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a vise. Okay, so opening the vise up. And what I want to do is I want to grab just around the bottom of this thing. So just around the edge in there, tighten it up. Okay, really tight. Okay, then I'm going to get the proper sized wrench for the cutting piece on the top here, and we're just going to spin it. Okay, round and round she goes. I can feel lots of drag, and so I'm going to keep going. I'm listening for kind of a little, oh, you hear that? That's cut through one edge of the material. Oh, and there's the other edge. And I'm going to go just a little bit farther in hopes of pushing the piece of metal down to the point where it kind of ends up sliding past the main cutting tool. Okay, so I'm going to pull my bolt out. Wow, that's long-winded. Oh, it's probably, no, it's still, here, there we go. Now it's loose. There's my cut piece of metal. Okay, and so what I want to do with that is hopefully work that thing off. There we go. A little bit more. Whee, and away it goes. Okay, my cutting tool is now clean. And there's my piece of metal. So what I'm going to do, and it didn't quite go down all the way, so I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to take it out. Take it out of the vise here. And hopefully, there we go. Push it down through the bottom. And it should hopefully pop out the bottom. All right. Okay, so now I've got my hole in my piece of aluminum, which is nice, but it's got a rough edge on the inside, and all the cut marks are vertical. I don't want vertical cut marks. So what I need to do is I need to deburr it. So what I'm going to do is take it, and I'm going to get a piece of sandpaper, and And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deburr the inside by taking the piece of sandpaper, just putting it on a bit of an angle, and kind of working it around the inside of the hole. Okay? And what I'm doing now is I'm taking all the vertical scratches and score marks that the chassis punch has put in there, and I'm scraping them away. Deburr the edges a little bit, flip it around, and just give it a little edge deburr kind of all the way around, making sure that inside's all nice and clean. Now if I look on the inside, ooh, it's all nice and shiny on that inside edge all the way around, and so it feels nice and deburred. It's ready for flaring. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to use a flaring tool. And so here it is here, 2 parts, the upper female flaring part and the base material, which is the lower flaring part. I'm going to take my piece of metal. Okay, there it is. My metal is now on top of the flaring tool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it over to our 55-ton press. Okay? And just a reminder, again, before you use any of this equipment, make sure you sanitize, right? So this is our 55-ton press. And it's actually kind of a cool tool because it's got a power-driven ram in it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top and the bottom together, my male and my female flaring tool, make sure the flares go in the right direction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that underneath that plunger there. Then I'm going to come over here. I've got a handle and a pressure gauge. It says return, which allows the fluid to come back from the pump, or I can turn it the other direction, which says hold, and it's going to hold the pressure in the system. I'm going to grab that electric hand control. There's the on-off switch button. I'm going to push the button, and when I push the button, the plunger is going to come down, and it's going to start to squish my piece of metal. Well, it's going to start flaring it, right? And so what I want to do is make sure that I don't go above, you see the little red line that I've made? You shouldn't take the pressure any more than halfway up to that first red line. So there it is. It's doing some squeezing, some serious squeezing. We go down here. That's tons. Doesn't need to be any more than that, okay? And so I'm going to release it. The plunger should start backing off. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to pull my part out, lift the top off, and there it is, a beautiful lightening hole. Okay, and so you need to know how to do that for PE3. Pretty simple. Just be careful when using the 55-ton press. Okay, it's a pretty cool tool. So that's the technique. Now you know, you're ready to go.